I'd rather be kind than right. You can always be kind. Dalai Lama. I think technology really increased human ability, but technology cannot produce compassion. When you realize you've made a mistake, take immediate steps to correct it. Instead of wondering why this is happening to you, consider why this is happening to you personally. Sleep is the best meditation. It is worth remembering that the time of greatest gain in terms of wisdom and inner strength is often that of greatest difficulty. The true essence of humankind is kindness. There are other qualities which come from education or knowledge, but it is essential, if one wishes to be a genuine human being and impart satisfying meaning to one's existence, to have a good heart. The more we are concerned for the well-being of others, the closer we will feel to each other. Don't let a little dispute injure a great relationship. To be aware of a single shortcoming within oneself is more useful than to be aware of 1,000 in somebody else. Know the rules well, so you can break them effectively. I feel that compassionate thought is the most precious thing there is. It is something that only we human beings can develop. And if we have a good heart, warm feelings, we will be happy and satisfied ourselves, and our friends will experience a friendly and peaceful atmosphere as well. This can be experienced community to community, country to country, continent to continent. I always try to share with others the idea that in order to become compassionate, it is not necessary to become religious. Blessings don't come from outside, but from within. Whatever blessings we receive are the result of our own efforts and positive actions.
Don't forget to subscribe. Afterwards, the wisest and most spiritual books from the greatest authors await you every day. And now buckle up, sit back, and we'll begin.
Today, as we wish each other a happy new year, let us determine to be more sincere, compassionate, warm-hearted human beings, trying to make our world a more equal place. That way we'll actually make it a happy year. Change only takes place through action, not through meditation and prayer. To be kind, honest, and have positive thoughts, to forgive those who harm us and treat everyone as a friend, to help those who are suffering, and never to consider ourselves superior to anyone else. Even if this advice seems rather simplistic, make the effort of seeing whether by following it you can find greater happiness. We cannot learn real patience and tolerance from a guru or a friend. They can be practiced only when we come in contact with someone who creates unpleasant experiences. According to Shantideva, enemies are really good for us as we can learn a lot from them and build our inner strength. One can be deceived by 3 types of laziness, of indolence, which is the wish to procrastinate, the laziness of inferiority, which is doubting your capabilities, and the laziness that is attachment to negative actions, or putting great effort into non-virtue. Because we all share this planet Earth, we have to learn to live in harmony and peace with each other and with nature. This is not just a dream, but a necessity. We can benefit others through our actions by being warm and generous toward them, by being charitable, and by helping those in need. All suffering is caused by ignorance. People inflict pain on others in the selfish pursuit of their happiness or satisfaction. I think technology really increased human ability, but technology cannot produce compassion. When you realize you've made a mistake, take immediate steps to correct it. Sleep is the best meditation. I'd rather be kind than right. You can always be kind. It is worth remembering that the time of greatest gain in terms of wisdom and inner strength is often that of greatest difficulty. The true essence of humankind is kindness. There are other qualities which come from education or knowledge, but it is essential, if one wishes to be a genuine human being and impart satisfying meaning to one's existence, to have a good heart. The more we are concerned for the well-being of others, the closer we will feel to each other. Don't let a little dispute injure a great relationship. To be aware of a single shortcoming within oneself is more useful than to be aware of 1,000 in somebody else. Know the rules well, so you can break them effectively. I feel that compassionate thought is the most precious thing there is. It is something that only we human beings can develop. And if we have a good heart, warm feelings, we will be happy and satisfied ourselves, and our friends will experience a friendly and peaceful atmosphere as well. This can be experienced community to community, country to country, continent to continent. I always try to share with others the idea that in order to become compassionate, it is not necessary to become religious. Blessings don't come from outside, but from within. Whatever blessings we receive are the result of our own efforts and positive actions. Today, as we wish each other a happy new year, let us determine to be more sincere, compassionate, warm-hearted human beings, trying to make our world a more equal place. That way we'll actually make it a happy year. Change only takes place through action, not through meditation and prayer. To be kind, honest and have positive thoughts, to forgive those who harm us and treat everyone as a friend, to help those who are suffering and never to consider ourselves superior to anyone else. Even if this advice seems rather simplistic, make the effort of seeing whether by following it you can find greater happiness. We cannot learn real patience and tolerance from a guru or a friend. They can be practiced only when we come in contact with someone who creates unpleasant experiences. According to Shantideva, enemies are really good for us as we can learn a lot from them and build our inner strength. One can be deceived by 3 types of laziness: of indolence, which is the wish to procrastinate; the laziness of inferiority, which is doubting your capabilities; and the laziness that is attachment to negative actions, or putting great effort into non-virtue. Because we all share this planet Earth, we have to learn to live in harmony and peace with each other and with nature. This is not just a dream, but a necessity. We can benefit others through our actions by being warm and generous toward them, by being charitable, and by helping those in need. All suffering is caused by ignorance. People inflict pain on others in the selfish pursuit of their happiness or satisfaction. Live a good, honorable life. Then when you get older and look back, you'll be able to enjoy it a second time. To be aware of a single shortcoming within oneself is more useful than to be aware of 1,000 in somebody else. Rather than speaking badly about people and in ways that will produce friction and unrest in their lives, we should practice a purer perception of them, and when we speak of others, speak of their good qualities. Once you have a genuine sense of concern for others, there's no room for cheating, bullying or exploitation. Good human qualities: honesty, sincerity. A good heart cannot be bought with money, nor can they be produced by machines, but only by the mind itself. We can call this the inner light, or God's blessing, or human quality. This is the essence of mankind. If a problem is fixable, if a situation is such that you can do something about it, then there is no need to worry. If it's not fixable, then there is no help in worrying. There is no benefit in worrying whatsoever. It is under the greatest adversity that there exists the greatest potential for doing good, both for oneself and others. If you are honest, truthful, and transparent, people trust you. If people trust you, you have no grounds for fear, suspicion, or jealousy. If I am only happy for myself, many fewer chances for happiness. If I am happy when good things happen to other people, billions more chances to be happy. If there is a solution to a problem, there is no need to worry. And if there is no solution, there is no need to worry. The world will be saved by the Western woman. Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. We have bigger houses, but smaller families. More conveniences, but less time. We have knowledge, but less judgments. More experts, but more problems. More medicines, but less health. Each of us has the potential to contribute. You have a great opportunity to make a new shape of the world. Human beings by nature want happiness and do not want suffering. With that feeling, everyone tries to achieve happiness and tries to get rid of suffering, and everyone has the basic right to do this. In this way, all here are the same, whether rich or poor, educated or uneducated, Easterner or Westerner, believer or non-believer, and within believers whether Buddhist, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, and so on. Basically, from the viewpoint of real human value, we are all the same. There needs to be understanding that anger never helps to solve a problem. It destroys our peace of mind and blinds our ability to think clearly. Anger and attachment are emotions that distort our view of reality. With realization of one's own potential and self-confidence in one's ability, one can build a better world. I find hope in the darkest of days, and focus in the brightest. I do not judge the universe. Mental happiness is more important than physical comfort. Physical comfort comes from the material. But material facilities cannot provide you with peace of mind. I don't take myself too seriously. That makes me happy. If there is no solution to the problem, then don't waste time worrying about it. If there is a solution to the problem, then don't waste time worrying about it. It is necessary to help others, not only in our prayers, but in our daily lives. If we find we cannot help others, the least we can do is to desist from harming them. If there is love, there is hope that one may have real families, real brotherhood, real equanimity, real peace. If the love within your mind is lost and you see other beings as enemies, then no matter how much knowledge or education or material comfort you have, only suffering and confusion will ensue. When we are angry, we are blind to reality. Anger may bring us a temporary burst of energy, but that energy is blind and it blocks the part of our brain that distinguishes right from wrong. To deal with our problems, we need to be practical and realistic. If we are to be realistic, we need to use our human intelligence properly, which means we need a calm mind. The essence of compassion is a desire to alleviate the suffering of others and to promote their well-being. One of the most effective ways to overcome anxiety is to try to shift the focus of attention away from self and toward others. When we succeed in this, we find that the scale of our own problems diminishes. This is not to say we should ignore our own needs altogether, but rather that we should try to remember others' needs alongside our own, no matter how pressing ours may be. What we do and think in our own lives, then, becomes of extreme importance as it affects everything we're connected to. I want to say, without hesitation, the purpose of our life is happiness. Nonviolence means dialogue, using our language, the human language. Dialogue means compromise, respecting each other's rights. In the spirit of reconciliation, there is a real solution to conflict and disagreement. There is no 100% winner, no 100% loser, not that way but half and half. That is the practical way, the only way. Destructive thoughts and emotions undermine the very causes of peace and happiness. If you think clearly about it, it makes no sense to think you're seeking happiness, if you do nothing to restrain angry, spiteful, and malicious thoughts and emotions. Indulgence in resentment and vengeance will only further increase miseries to oneself and others in this life and in lives to come. Learning to forgive is much more useful than merely picking up a stone and throwing it at the object of one's anger, the more so when the provocation is extreme. For it is under the greatest adversity that there exists the greatest potential for doing good, both for oneself and others. When you hate someone intensely, 80% of what you think is delusion. It is natural that we face obstacles in pursuit of our goals, but if we remain passive, making no effort to solve the problems we meet, conflicts will arise and hindrances will grow. Transforming these obstacles into opportunities is a challenge to our human ingenuity. Every single being, even those who are hostile to us, is just as afraid of suffering as we are, and seeks happiness in the same way we do. Every person has the same right as we do to be happy and not to suffer. So let's take care of others wholeheartedly, of both our friends and our enemies. This is the basis for true compassion. When you are discontent, you always want more, more, more. Your desire can never be satisfied. But when you practice contentment, you can say to yourself, "Oh yes, I already have everything that I really need." If we ourselves remain angry and then sing world peace, it has little meaning. First, our individual self must learn peace. This we can practice, then we can teach the rest of the world. Everything you do has some effect, some impact. Hard times build determination and inner strength. Through them we can also come to appreciate the uselessness of anger. Instead of getting angry, nurture a deep caring and respect for troublemakers, because by creating such trying circumstances they provide us with invaluable opportunities to practice tolerance and patience. In order to carry a positive action, we must develop here a positive vision. The essence of Buddhism is, if you can, help others. If not, then at least refrain from hurting others. Giving up attachment to the world does not mean that you set yourself apart from it. Generating a desire for others to be happy increases your humanity. As you become less attached to the world, you become more humane. As the very purpose of spiritual practice is to help others, you must remain in society. The ultimate source of a happy life is warm-heartedness. This means extending to others the kind of concern we have for ourselves. On a simple level, we find that if we have a compassionate heart, we naturally have more friends. And scientists today are discovering that while anger and hatred eat into our immune system, warm-heartedness and compassion are good for our health. Responsibility does not only lie with the leaders of our countries or with those who have been appointed or elected to do a particular job. It lies with each of us individually. Everybody wants a happy life and a peaceful mind, but we have to produce peace of mind through our own practice. Friends, genuine friends, have much more to do with whether we have a warm heart, not money or power. The roots of all goodness lie in the soil of appreciation for goodness. Just as we take for granted the need to acquire proficiency in the basic academic subjects, I am hopeful that a time will come when we can take it for granted that children will learn, as part of the curriculum, the indispensability of inner values, love, compassion, justice, and forgiveness. We are driven by self-interest. It's necessary to survive. But we need wise self-interest that is generous and cooperative, taking others' interests into account. Cooperation comes from friendship, friendship comes from trust, and trust comes from kind-heartedness. Once you have a genuine sense of concern for others, there's no room for cheating, bullying, or exploitation. The more you think about your own self, the more self-centered you are, the more trouble even small problems can create in your mind. The stronger your sense of I, the narrower the scope of your thinking becomes, then even small obstacles become unbearable. On the other hand, if you concern yourself mainly with others, the broader your thinking becomes, and life's inevitable difficulties disturb you less. When something needs to be done in the world to rectify the wrongs, if one is really concerned with benefiting others, one needs to be engaged, involved. This is action out of compassion. We need to understand how destructive emotions affect us and constructive emotions can help us, so that we can maintain our peace of mind. There is only one important point you must keep in your mind and let it be your guide. No matter what people call you, you are just who you are. Keep to this truth. You must ask yourself, how is it you want to live your life? We live and we die. This is the truth that we can only face alone. No one can help us, not even the Buddha. So consider carefully, what prevents you from living the way you want to live your life? Look at children. If they feel angry with someone, they express it, and then it is finished. They can still play with that person the following day. We human beings are social beings. We come into the world as the result of others' actions. We survive here in dependence on others. Whether we like it or not, there is hardly a moment of our lives when we do not benefit from others' activities. For this reason, it is hardly surprising that most of our happiness arises in the context of our relationships with others. Soul is at home in the deep, shaded valleys. Heavy torpid flowers saturated with black growth air. The rivers flow like warm syrup. They empty into huge oceans of soul. Time passes unhindered. When we make mistakes, we cannot turn the clock back and try again. All we can do is use the present well. When we meet real tragedy in life, we can react in two ways, either by losing hope and falling into self-destructive habits, or by using the challenge to find our inner strength. Dalai Lama.
And that's not all. Our experts and regular viewers respond to all comments. Also check if you forgot to subscribe and set your bell to receive notifications about new audiobooks and other useful self-development materials that we release regularly. Join in the discussions, don't forget to give likes and, if possible and inspired, support the development of the channel financially. All useful links will be in the description and the first attached comment. Goodness, love and wisdom to all. And now move on to watch the next part of the video at the links below, or choose something from the playlists of the channel and those you see on the screen.